Thank you both very much. I just want to I'm Mark Kramer. I'm Michael's co-author on the Shared Value article and co-founder of FSG. I want to just, first of all, thank both of you for being here. You have elevated the conversation. You have excited us with the opportunity. And I also want to just offer a couple thoughts before we take a quick break this morning. You know, when Michael and I wrote this first article, and I won't speak for Michael, I'll speak for myself, I didn't really understand what we were saying. Because over the last 5 years, I have seen this movement grow in all kinds of ways we would never have predicted. You know, I remember a few years ago when we first organized this conference, and we invited businesses, because Shared Value was about business. And then some NGOs started to come, and we thought, well, what are they doing here? You know, and then development agencies, the IFC, Erica mentioned she's been with us every conference, and then government representatives. And we began to realize that this isn't just about redefining the role of business in society. This redefines every role in society. And it is absolutely remarkable to see on the program today in some of our breakout labs a session on equity. Because it turns out it isn't just about leaders, it's about engaging the populations with lived experience. To see a session on collective impact, another idea that came out of FSG that we had no idea at the outset was related to shared value. But it turns out that to really create social change at scale, you can't think about one organization, you can't think about one sector. You have to think about how hundreds of organizations can begin to work toward common goals across sectors. And the work that we've been doing that we thought was entirely separate about collective impact turns out to be a very useful model for that. So I love this idea of moving beyond ideology, because that really has been in many ways what's held us back. And I think shared value is about achieving results. But it turns out that all kinds of things that we thought weren't part of business, weren't part of our role as NGOs, weren't part of the role of development agencies, turn out to be essential to achieving results. So this conversation, the breadth of it, the importance of it, keeps growing every year. And that's why it's so important that you are part of this conversation with us. I particularly want to just take a minute as well to thank Michael, because without his vision and leadership, his tireless efforts, his academic brilliance, this idea would never have been born and never have grown the way it has. And I have to say, for me, I continue to discover each year, each country we visit, each business we begin to work with, more and more the power, but also the complexity of truly creating shared value. And it's communities like this where we can learn from each other's experience that enables us really to realize the full power of creating shared value. So we're going to take a short break now. When we come back, we have a wonderful panel with Alan Murray, the managing editor of Fortune, and 4 of the companies that made the list of companies changing the world. Thank you for being here. Thank you again to Jim and Michael. We'll see you in a few minutes back.